Jewish leaders and leaders of all faiths are grappling with a new sense of normal. The knowledge that their house of worship could be attacked following the massacre at the Tree of Life Synagogue.
Sad to say, that's where we are. I mean, this has been a kind of a big shift in the psyche of the Jewish community.
The shooting that left 11 Jews dead on Shabbat isn't the first time the community has dealt with this problem. After September 11th, Gil Pruis of the Jewish Federation of Greater Washington says Jewish and Muslim communities in D.C. were forced to harden their facilities.
There was a lot of capital improvements to try to make changes, whether it's security measures, cameras, etc. What it feels like now is that's a base point that we need to take that second level, as you said, whether it's security guards or other mechanisms to make sure that the people who are in the buildings feel safe.
Rabbi Bruce Lustig of Washington Hebrew Congregation says since 9/11, Jewish children have had to learn how to shelter in place at their religious school, despite security outside. But Lustig says he's taken specific measures to make sure these young children feel safe coming to learn about their heritage.
I was very clear that I want our doors to be open when religious school is there, because I don't want anybody to have to be buzzed into the religious school. So I'd rather have an officer outside so children can walk in unencumbered, because the idea of standing and having to buzz oneself into a religious institution just seems to go against this.
Lustig says this strategy will not change, but others will. Many of the changes congregants will never know about. And it's a fine line between making people feel safe when they're walking into their place of worship, but also making them feel like they're not walking into a military zone.
It's a fine balance, because you want to make people absolutely feel secure, but you also don't want them to feel like it's unsafe to come to a place of worship. So there are all sorts of things that we do. You know, we've had a high level of security, and I think in many institutions of these nature, you know, most of those, that's what's seen and what's unseen, and we don't talk about it because it doesn't help your security in that sense.
And while this attack didn't happen on the Muslim community, Imam Mohammed Majid, who is the executive imam of the Adams Center in Virginia, says it may well have. He's planning immediate changes to security in his facilities.
Yes, we're going to increase security in the mosque. We have a school here that have security the whole day. But it's really troubling to me, a person coming to the mosque to pray, or the synagogue to pray, and have to think about their safety. Like, it's really troubling to me that we come to this point.
The reality is that what works for one synagogue or house of worship may not work for another. The size of the congregation, the location, the funding, those are just a few of the factors considered when deciding best security practices. But the bottom line is these religious leaders don't want safety to be a factor in whether someone decides to worship, no matter who they pray to.
We can't let the hatred on the outside affect who we are on the inside.